Yo, what up, internet land? Somebody's stepping a duck over there, I think. Well, I don't know how these people get in contact with me, but
this week's basket case.
We got a good one here. Check out this thing. EF 4-door. I like EFs. Okay, cool. I'm about it. Look at my wheels. All right. So check this thing out. It is, oh, you guessed it, another unfinished K-swap that no one can finish. I don't understand how this is a thing. Yeah, so it's a JDM K24 with some okay parts. He took it to another shop. The other shop attempted to fix wires and things. Apparently this was a completely stock harness and somehow messed a lot of it up. And of course, it ends up here. So, yeah, JDM K24 with a simple-ish turbo kit, sidewinder. There is a ton. Everywhere I look, it's just more and more things. We need to mount this proportioning valve somehow. Finish all those brake lines.
Verify the brake lines are even going to the right place.
Yeah.
Finally.
The intake manifold is missing just tons of hardware. There's one missing here. There's the center one's missing. One over here is missing. Shifter cables are missing hardware. The upper radiator hose doesn't fit at all. He apparently attempted to install this throttle cable. That's not how you install those. Okay. Yeah, it needs a MAC valve installed. It's got a cable to hydro kit. Obviously that's not acceptable. That's just gonna rub through there. So I'll have to figure out something there. Plumbing, all the plumbing, everything, turbo feed is loose, the oil drain is loose. I'm sure he had attempted to run all of his, is that loose? Yep, that's loose. Yeah, that's
Probably check the valve
too.
cover, make sure these fittings are tight.
So, yeah, needs catch can installed, radiator overflow installed. I hate how close these things are. I think it's funny all the people that don't run a radiator overflow and there's just an open port right here, like, yeah, water injection. But yeah, this is the good part of it. Check this out. What in tarnation? Baby Jesus, help us all. Yeah, so
I feel like Jesus took the wheel already.
Jesus apparently tried to take the wheel and then like totaled the wheel. Yeah. What is this? So yeah, this again, I actually built this harness for that said shop that did all this work. And then the harness ended up getting completely packed up and like, dude, what? This was all nice and supposed to be plug and play, but
the cable to hydro almost touches the fuse box.
Sick. The car's been wire tucked. All of the factory wiring is just completely cut, gone. I don't understand what somebody was doing here. So, yeah. It had some kind of sound system in it. It had, I think it had a PlayStation or something in it because we found a PlayStation audio video cord. There's audio video cables and connectors everywhere in here. So it had something decent, something kind of cool at one point in time. It's got this super cool little homemade ducting vent piece that's here. Cluster wiring is all completely cut up. Everything's butchered. So yeah, we're gonna get this thing probably just completely torn down. He's fine with removing all the AC stuff. We're gonna pull all the sound dampening, pull all the wiring out, and just kind of lay everything out, see what we're working with here. Why? I don't understand people. See what we're working with and try to start cleaning this up to see what he wants to do. It does have a fuel cell in the trunk that is literally just sitting here. It's got an AEM inline pump and a filter. Somebody completely cut all this up over here, so we're gonna need to obviously mount all this, shorten up a bunch of these lines. That's just currently it's plumbed wrong, so we'll have to change some plumbing, find either some kind of rollover valve or a vent for the tank. Yeah. What is up, internet land? This battery is going dead.
Sick, I like it.
EF sedan. I don't even know what we've posted. I don't know where we're at currently, but here's an update. Get this flipped around here. Oh, look at my exhaust, dog. This is where we're at currently.
It's battery in.
Oh yeah, you know, we got all the charge cables made.
Charging terminals.
Battery to alternator, alternator to starter. Devin made this cool little plate that houses charging posts, because you're definitely gonna need charging posts, especially with those batteries. Never buy those batteries. I hate those. It's like the PC680 whatever equivalent. Catch can's mounted. We're super limited on space. Can't really put it anywhere else, so unfortunately I have to go over here at an angle.
We're waiting on fittings.
Oh, yeah. So we're waiting on a low profile fitting for this valve cover. Nice valve cover. Just going to valve cover. One of these days I might own one. Built a cool little bracket to mount the proportioning valve that's normally like up here. I had to move it down here. Got all the lines made, all the lines hooked up. Needed to replace some of his other lines. They just came way too close to this manifold. But all that's done. Radiator overflow, all the boost lines. We ended up just tapping the bottom of this plate for the intake manifold. So we have multiple port sources, which is cool.
With an extra.
Yep, we got an extra in here that we left for him. Changed the knock sensor. Knock sensor was broken. This thing's interesting. So I don't know. He put it together. His friends put it together. Like, dang near everything we touch is loose, missing hardware, stripped. It's bad. So
Cotter pins not there.
The car has no cotter pins at all. So yeah, that's I hate these things. I absolutely hate them. And of course, you know, interesting things like, yeah, there's a little tiny NPT plug back there that, you know, the turbo is blocking it, and like, yeah, you see that? Yeah, right there. Yeah, that was loose. So everything's loose, gone, missing. All of the AN fittings, oil return line, everything's loose. So having to go through everything little bits at a time, fixing everything, retightening everything. Jesse and I just bled the brakes, and we found that wrong hardware was holding this master cylinder, the booster.
Kinda holding the booster.
So that was a non-OEM bolt. It tightened down somewhat. That one that was hiding out down there, it was an OEM bolt, but it wasn't even remotely tight. So pulled everything off, verified the gasket was in there. I don't know what else you have missed or seen.
This got installed.
Boost solenoid Mac valve. Redid his cable to hydro setup. Yeah, he's got this massive fuel cell back here. I don't know why this thing needs a traveler tank. It's not a Chevy van, but it's a 20-gallon. Got the pump and filter mounted up. Redid all his lines. The lines were nowhere close to being.
That hole was pre-existing.
Yeah.
We did not do that.
Yeah, this is my favorite. Like, there's a massive hole that somebody like chewed on. It's bad. So
I'm not sure what kind of axe they used to get that open, but
it is huge. I don't know if they were trying to get access to a fuel pump or something. They didn't want to drop the tank. It's interesting though. But yeah, got all these. done and hooked up. The return actually to the right spot where it was up front before. There was no vent, so currently you just have a temporary vent. Supposedly, according to this guy, he's going to redo all this, but I don't know. So just did a quick little loop-de-loop rollover with a vent going to the outside. Yeah. Inside, got all the wiring cleaned up. I finally got a fuse box put in it. Everything connected up here. Everything set up. So as soon as we get wiring, engine harness is next. So once the engine harness is in, then we can get all of the rest of this cleared up. Wiring for his power seat belts. The sedans have these power seat belts. So
the driver's seat's in now.
And I think this is cool. Like, yeah, cool. I definitely agree that it needs to be fused, but why is one side 10 amp and one side 30 amp? Like, they don't. Yeah, those are supposed to be the same. I think they're actually supposed to be like 210s or 215s, but yep. Driver seat's installed. We can't get the passenger seat installed yet because we're missing a slider. It had brackets. Apparently were in this car originally, but only 3 out of the 4 mounting holes would line up. Yeah, it's not okay, people. Stop doing that. So, modified his seat bracket. So the seat bracket actually bolts down with all 4 now. It amazes me. People are like, oh, it's fine. No, it's not fine. You're dumb. Stop. So, yeah, other than that, we've got the conversion harness is ready to go on. The engine harness is all set, ready to go. I had to make some simple changes for like the single pin coolant temp. I've pre-wired in the MAC valve, the boost solenoid, and I think we're gonna get that radiator put back in. That was the radiator that the car came with. Someone had already started to get that fitted up, but there's no brackets. So I've got some brackets. We're gonna mount it to this bottom bar, so it'll actually, yeah, there, it's a good spot there. So that'll actually be on. Let me get the radiator in. We need to make a different upper radiator hose water neck setup for it. So we'll get all that done, and then probably slap the harness on it, and hopefully start this thing soon. But that's where we're at currently. Dang, look at that haircut. So yeah, that's where we're at. So stay tuned for some more updates, and we'll try to remember to pick up the camera. Later, guys.